And I want to kick things off with Nqobile. Nqobile Madlala is in Diepkloof, and live picture coming there from what's happening, these clashes between protesters and police. Nqobile?
Yes, Iman, in fact, the police have started shooting at some of the hostel dwellers. So as you can see us right now, those visuals are live visuals. This is one on the other end of the hostel. We understand that they're going inside the hostel in Diepkloof. Now, the issue at hand, Iman, is that there's no service delivery. So according to the hostel dwellers, they felt that they have not been acknowledged, and the issues that they have raised over time has not been acknowledged. And as a result, they've decided to go into a protest action in a sense. So these are the police inside the Diepkloof hostel as we speak. So I want to bring in the leader and one of the community leaders in hostel to speak to us about these issues. And of course, as you can hear them in the background, they're also telling the police that
I'm doing enforcement. Get that question you want to I don't know how don't you How don't you tell us what to do? Okay, but don't shut up.
Iman, that is a clash between some of the leaders in the hostel. They're basically telling the JMPD not to go inside the hostel's housing, and they're saying that they're refusing them. They're saying they're not happy with how they're conducting everything, and as a result, that is obviously angering the police. So I'm going to bring in a leader also who's speaking about these issues. Baba yini lento sokanga?
No, sikhathazwa amaphoyisa njengamanje asengena ngaphakathi akhipha abantu endlini okuyinto erongo kakhulu. Bona ngabe balipagada umgwaqo phela abekuthiwa abawugade la okumoshakala khona umgwaqo. Njengamanje bazokhipha abantu endlini bashaya abantu endlini okuyinto erongo kakhulu leyo. And yasitafula thina lento ngoba manje ekugcineni nje abekhipha abantu kunezingane ezihlala endlini la kunomama bahleze endlini. Abantu abangangena kulento le. Kodwa manje babhizi bangena ngaphakathi badubula abantu endlini. Okuyinto erongo kakhulu leyo. Ngoba abantu obekhala bakhala into engekho. Bakhala into ekhona ngoba ifela yona iprovince ibisibathuma umuntu akuzosha abantu irong into yenziwa amaphoyisa na upremo wakhe loyo.
Ngicela sibe silandela amaphoyisa baba, but mongase nje uzungichazele ngalesikhathi isona siphi isikhalo esiniphethe kabi kakhulu njengamanje?
Isikhalo esikhala ngaso thina ukuthi kusondele iprovince izolungisa ihostel. Amaphoyisa lawa awayeke ukuthi makunenkinga bese gijima ezo khipha abantu endlini. Asali ngokuthi amaphoyisa ezomsebenzi wawo, kodwa hayi ukuthi bengene endlini ezokhipha abantu endlini. Leyo irongo kakhulu ke leyo. Asamsana naleyo. Samsana ngempela yokukhipha abantu endlini kanje ngoba sama benza into abenza irongo into abenzayo. Siyayibona phela.
Izona ziphi inkinga enifuna ukuthi iprovince kube yona addressayo at the moment?
Iprovince iqonda kahle ukuthi kufanele sizokha ihostel bayimemezela ibudget wayibophezela futhi ukuthi uzwalungisa amahostel kuze kube manje ayikho ihostel esalungisiwe. Sihlezi nje lesikhona sezikanethe izulu makuna izulu sifanele sesiphandle. So yile nto osikhala ngayo ukuthi abeza phela bezokhandla lezindaba ufuna bezoyikhandla ngaphakathi awethembisile.
Izona ziphi ikhalo kade nibekile baba?
Isikhalo sisodwa sala ekhaya asiziningi isikhalo sisodwa nje ukuthi nje akulungiswe ihostel kuphela. Akukho nje okunye. Isikhalo sisodwa uprime akasondele kithi kulungiswe ihostel. Akukho nje okunye. Izitha sezikuzo seziyabheda eziyanetha asikwazi ukuhlala phandle. Bekwazi ukufaka ugesi bona befaka ugesi befaka ugesi endaweni ebhedayo bekubona kathi indawo abafaka kuzo ugesi yabheda.
So banifakelile ugesi namanzi?
Yes. Amanje lokho kweCity of Johannesburg Human Settlement noMeya akuhlangene neprovince lesikhuluma ngayo. Iprovince iseceleni kaPanyaza lo semdingayo ezela.
Nithini kuPanyaza?
uPanyaza semdinga la ezela izositshela ukuthi ngoba naseyinkethweni asiyi uma kunje asiyi eyinkethweni uma ingalungisi indaba ekuzolungisa ihostel eDiepkloof hostel. Asiyi eyinkethweni sizoqhinga apha ngithini kuze kulungiswe le hostel asiyi sizoyiphazamisa neyinketho lezo ngoba inhloso ukuthi siyiphazamise ukuthi besondele beyifile le pain esifilayo nathi.
Well, briefly, Amanda, they're just explaining to us that some of the issues that they're worried about is that even though they have water and light that has been given to them by the city, which we understand that also the mayor was supposed to be part of just a while back, but what they're saying is that their main concern is that the housing is in a very bad state. most of their houses are falling apart. There's an issue there, and they want the province to basically come and see the situation that they're living under. And this is a major issue, and the issue that they want everyone to understand. And that's why they're asking the Premier to come down here and basically address these issues. However, they're continuing with this protest action. They're saying that it will continue until the Premier is down here to sort of address the service delivery issues. And they do say that they have water and lights. However, they want the condition, the way they live. So the human settlement part of it is the major issue. And so they want that to be addressed. And of course, one of the major concerns is that the police came inside the Diepkloof hostel. And of course they were knocking in people's doors, and they're concerned about the women that live inside those hostels and the kids that are there. But of course the police are also ensuring that there is peace in this area. You will know that's where we are standing. There's also formal housing on the left hand side, which also means that some of the people that are here are also just as concerned in terms of what is taking place in the hostel. And of course the women that we saw a little earlier were saying that they're concerned that the police do come to the hostel only when things are not okay. And according to them, they're saying that if somebody had died inside the hostel, the police wouldn't come in. And so it was good for them to see those police coming in. But of course the police are just patrolling, ensuring that there is some sense of peace. And you will see there right on your left hand side, Iman, those are some of the things that have been burnt. It looks like a mattress, looks like a tire, some of the rocks on the road, disturbing of course anyone who's driving on this road. And these are some of the concerns that the police are trying to address at this very moment. But we'll continue to watch it and speak to some of the leaders here to see what is a solution in this point, and when do they find a solution if in this case it's still a standoff as it is between them and the police.
Nqobile, thank you very much for that. As always, there would be concern for your and the team's safety as well. This is a moving story, and we've seen in the past things can go wrong in an instant. Seeing some of the disruption there, as Nqobile and her camera are showing us in the community, there are some historic issues as well, Nqobile, attached to issues that are being raised by residents of the Diepkloof hostel. I don't know if it's worth going back to that particular issue, that this is not new, this is not happening for the first time, and it raises the issue of that stakeholder engagement between, members of either the mayoral committee or the city communicating with residents there, what the long-term plans or the intervention plans are likely to be in addressing some of their concerns.
It does seem like it's an ongoing situation, Iman, and in fact, I do have one of the community leaders here to speak to us about those issues, and I want him to speak to us, of course, about that historic part. You will remember that even in the past, when they speak about hostels, is that the hostels were basically created for people that were coming to work into the city, and this was supposed to be their home. And of course, it will make sense that over time, these places tend to dilapidate. And of course, I'm going to bring in now the community leader to speak to us. Baba ngisacela nje uphinde usichazele manje ngoba lezi inkinga zena akuzona inkinga zanamhlanje, nizoqhubeka nenze njani makunje ngoba kade zabakhona
inkinga eyindala nje kule hostel zabakhona since le hostel yakhandwa ngo1960 ayikaze nje iyaqala nokuba nogesi nje from this year ngoJune iyaqala nje ukuba nogesi, iyaqala ukuba namanzi nje a straight. So ke iyakutshela ukuthi le hostel ayikaze iziservices since yabakhona lokhu yakhandwa ngohulumeni wobandlululo.
So manje ngokwakho ubone ngazuthi ubani osephutheni kulokho kwenzakalayo?
Obviously i-department ihlali iba nawo ama-budget speech ikuveza ukuthi ikhona imali zasemahostela. Obviously singakubeka nje ukuthi i-province nayo ilokhu umasipala lo wethu osilekelelayo osisevisayo kufanele bebona behlangane bo2 kube yibona abakhulumayo ukuthi benze njani ngemali zalapha ehostela, ngoba uyathola ukuthi egcineni bangena ama-budget bagijima bethume ama-engineer ukuthi awazo-check la ngaphathi kuzokwakhiwa izindlu kuthunya ama-surveyor emva kwalokho bese beyanyamalala engabesabuya. Uyabona ukuthi indlela yokudla imali ehostela nje indawo yola kudla kwakhona imali kuyiprovince-ke kodwa edla imali la ehostel, imali leli hostel sebeyiqedile beyidla imali yalo.
Manje njengoba nicela undunankulu ukuthi eze la kuzokwenzakalani?
Njoba simcela nje umhlonisha wethu uNdunankulu simcelela ukuthi ngoba inkece yethu akuveza umeya ukuthi iphethe uye yena akakwazi ukukhanda ihostel umuntu akhanda ihostel iprovince so simcelela khona ukuthi akeze futhi asimcela siyamfuna besamcela eqaleni sesiyamfuna manje ukuthi akeze la uma engezi la lezi inketho zokuqhubeka sizoba la emgwaqweni up until 29 May.
Well, just a brief explanation there, Iman. He's saying that what has come out of the conversations that they've had with councillors as well as the mayor is that most of the funding or the finances of the hostel sits with the province, and they feel that at this point they've been neglected and they have not been, there has been no service or maintenance of the hostel, and so the issue is they want then the province to come and address these issues. They're saying that there has been no maintenance since the inception of what was taking place here in the hostel. Of course, saying it was in 1960 that the hostel started, and they're saying that from that time, then they have not seen exactly what is the plan for people who live in the hostel. And of course, because of the fact that they feel ignored, because of the fact that they are not being heard at this very point, and it's been years of continuous trying to engage, they're saying that they will continue then doing what they're doing until the 29th of May. And if it means that they disrupt the elections, then they will go ahead and do that because they want to know what has happened to the budget. And they do feel that they're confident in understanding that there was a budget to maintain the hostel, that there was a budget to ensure that the hostel is in the right condition. But all of that has just sort of disappeared. So they're demanding then that Panyaza comes to the ground and address them.
Madlala, thank you very much for that. Referring to the Premier of the province, Panyaza Lesufi. The situation fluid, as you can see, live picture there from Diepkloof. This is as the hostel residents' protest spills out into the streets of the area. It's a moving story. We'll move as it moves.